Welcome to sports, everybody. Our Olympic champions traveling to Grand Bahama today for more celebrations in their honor. Shashina Roll was at the airport as the Golden Knights touched down.
With two of its members originating from Grand Bahama, undoubtedly it was a proud moment as the dynamic quartet, dressed in their national colors, proudly wore their gold medals around their necks. A short opening ceremony was held and the national anthem was played. There was an overwhelming feeling of pride and patriotism. Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darville.
Despite the difficulties we may face in the country and the things that we are experiencing here on Grand Bahama, we are still able to rise and shine at home and abroad. Yeah.
Outside the gate awaited the dedicated fans and family members who were eager to become a part of the historic moment. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Danny Johnson says this day will be etched in the memory of many Bahamians forever.
Grand time for the country, for these young men, for the families here, and most of all for the young kids who are out here. The idea of this is to inspire the next generation, and that is what we're here to do.
And he is right. Inspired are these kids who say they came just to get a glimpse of the Golden Knights. What did you come out here to see today?
Demetrius.
Is Demetrius your family?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you watch him run?
Yes, ma'am.
And what were you saying when you saw him win?
Nothing. Running track now, playing baseball.
And what has this race inspired you to do?
Run good, faster, push harder.
It's a beautiful scene. It's a beautiful feeling to be able to see the community respond in such a way when they come back to the island. It's nice.
Michael Matthews' sister recalls how she felt the day she heard her brother and his teammates captured the gold.
The time I was in Orlando, I was in traffic. Unfortunately, the United States was not showing the race until later on that night. So my husband called me on the phone, and he put the phone to the radio for me to hear what was going on. I was screaming. I was screaming above my, above my lungs. I almost got in traffic. I hauled all the way to the hotel room, and that's where I caught myself.
Next, it was off to celebrate their victory via motorcade. As cars lined off to follow, residents lined the streets, all hoping to catch a glimpse of the winners of the 2012 Men's Olympic 4x4 relay team. At Curly Tails, the men were showered with gifts as well as individual check presentations. Demetrius Pinder says it really feels good to be home.
I always was determined from I started running and getting serious into it. And I just happy for this day to come.
Shashina Roll, ZNS News.
Thanks a lot, Shashina. Now, also on their tour in Grand Bahama today, the Golden Knights were hosted to a luncheon by the GB Port Authority and the Ministry of Grand Bahama. Minister of Tourism, the Honourable Obi Wilshcombe, was the special guest speaker, and he had some big news for our Olympic champions.
In Bimini, they're going to host the Golden Knights to several days down at Bimini Bay as a guest of the Bimini community. I want to announce that the cruise lines have agreed to give them each a vacation on the cruise lines. And I also want to announce that the Ministry of Tourism will employ each member as a spokesman and ambassador for the Ministry of Tourism for the next 4 years.
Festivities in Grand Bahama are continuing tonight at the Independence Park with a cultural explosion and Junkanoo Rush Out. They also have a bunch of stuff on the agenda for tomorrow, so you don't want to miss out on that. Now, before departing for Grand Bahama this morning, our Golden Knights finished up their public appearances here in New Providence on Saturday with a huge motorcade which ended up at Junkanoo Beach. That was followed by a private dinner with family and friends at Frankie Gone Bananas. At that time, the Olympic champions were able to sit back, relax, and take in the whole experience.
This is the first time, this ever happened to the males winning the gold, and I'm just sucking it in. I mean, it's something new to me because, we ain't used to this, but I'm sucking it in and taking it each day at a time.
I gotta say, thank God for it, it's amazing, treatments you never had in life, treatments people dream of, the escort and, everything given to you, butlers and stuff like that, it's just amazing, man.
Now, with New Providence being the biggest island in the country in terms of population, logic would suggest that the majority of our 4x4 team would be from the capital. However, that cannot be further from the truth, with only Ramon Miller being an Asuvian.
Shows that, the people from here really appreciate me and actually know me. I be walking out, they know me. Oh, you run ankle leg. So it's really a tremendous feeling, and I just want to thank the New Providence population and the whole Bahamas for supporting me and my teammates as we come home and celebrate with them.
Now with Demetrius Pinder and Michael Matthew coming from Grand Bahama and Chris Brown hailing from Eleuthera, it really shows that there is tremendous talent throughout the country.
For me, I was one of the lucky and fortunate ones to come here, but I'm sure that if we go to one or two more family islands, there's definitely more talent out there. So me being a part of this team and joining these guys, is just a great experience.
All four of the Golden Knights have shut down their 2012 season, and all roads now lead to next year's World Championships.
It's been a long season. I got 2 months off, so my coach told me enjoy it because when I get back to training, it's going to be definitely focus and hard work. So I just got to enjoy my time now and just hang out and love the Bahamian people and love the Bahamas.
This medal make me more hungry now. So a lot of people going to be like, oh, they're going to sit back and they get the medal, they going to relax. But I'm like, this make me more hungry. Like, I want more.
Now, having served as a former B3A's president and a sports minister in the last Ingram administration, Senator Desmond Bannister is taking a keen interest in our men's 4x4 gold from the London Olympics. Bannister let the quartet know how much of an inspiration they've become.
Between the four of you, you all have inspired the country, but they don't really know you all. And they don't really know the wonderful stories that you all could share with young people and young men in this country. And so I hope that while you have this opportunity, you are going to share those stories, because this was not an overnight success for any of you. This was something that was hard-earned, and this is a story of perseverance and letting people know that if you work hard, that at the end you're going to get these kinds of rewards, the rewards that you deserve.
Well, Team Bahamas finished up with competition at the Under-15 Girls Central Basket Tournament in Mexico. After losing to the host and Costa Rica in pool play, our girls came back to beat Barbados before losing to the Cayman Islands in the 5th and 6th place game. Here's what President of the Bahamas Basketball Federation, Charlie Softly Rubens, had to say about the team's performance.
Well, I watched the girls work out a couple of weeks ago, and I saw some of the deficiencies in them. It seems like they were very much inexperienced. And for the first time, I guess, traveling, they had the traveling jitters and, some other things. We still have some coaches that are keeping our better players at home that we need to actually address later on. I already spoke to 2 ladies who feel like some other things should be taking place before they let their girls travel. I thought that was over on a national level, but it's something that we have to deal with. And I hope that the next time that our junior girls travel, that we have our best team that we could possibly field.
Now, as our girls team make their way back home, our boys team is preparing to leave for their segment of the Under-15 Central Basket Tournament in El Salvador later this week. Charles Fisher was on hand to see who made the cut.
This is the team that will travel to El Salvador. DeJour Adley, Shamal Miller, Bertho Lightfoot, Eduardo King, Sebastian Grace, Chavez Young, Raheem Lang, Travis Barnett, Janika Russell, Raymond Smith, Shamal Burrows, and Livingston Bromwell. Head coach Quinton Hall says he likes the togetherness of this team. He will be assisted by Stephen S. Brown, Chevy Simmons, Manny Adley, team manager Anton Francis.
Because the tournament was postponed, we ended up spending more time than we probably would have, and I thought that was a good thing. And we had a couple of kids that went to AAU tournaments and went back and forth, so now we get everybody back today. So, hey, I'm looking forward to the tournament.
Practices are intense before the team leaves on Thursday.
It's been wonderful, man. The kids have been responding. I mean, it's been a pleasure to coach thus far, working along with the coaches and Mr. Simmons and Mr. Adley and Mr. Brown. They've been real supportive. We have a good cohesiveness together going on right now. Our strength would probably be our quickness, That's normally the case at this age. Our quickness would be our strength, and just to play together.
I'm pleased that you were able to get players from not only here in Nassau and Grand Bahama, but for some family islands as well.
Oh, most definitely. We got a kid from San Salvador that I'm really high about, and he's a short guy, and he's a point guard just like me. So I gravitate to someone like him coming from the family islands, and also, the kids from Freeport.
And one thing is for sure, the Bahamian public can expect an all-around A game.
I don't know what they expect as far as whether it may be bronze, silver, gold, whatever, but I expect them to play hard and give it their best, and hopefully we come up with the goal.
Good luck to our Under-15 Central Basket Boys team headed to El Salvador. For For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
All right, thanks a lot, Charles. And that will do it for sports. But stay tuned, your weather forecast still to come.